we teach Black and Hispanic history according to the Bible, right? You a Black man?
Yes, sir.
Right. I asked that question because a lot of brown people that are Black
Don't like
be like, see, they don't say, oh, no, they say I'm Hawaiian or something,
Yes.
right? Read that for me real quick. You familiar with the Bible in any capacity?
I only read Genesis and Matthew.
Genesis
that's
and Matthew.
That's all
Woo!
I read.
All right, we're gonna read a little bit about Deuteronomy. If you read Genesis, then we'll get you there, bit, bro. But
Right.
this Bible is our history book. It's not a white man's book. It's not a book of Christianity. It's a book about our ancestors. Read that.
Which one?
Deuteronomy 1:1.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So the book of Deuteronomy is the words that Moses, you heard of Moses?
Yeah.
It's the words that he spoke unto all his people, the Israelites. Right? And he gave them laws, statutes, and commandments. You
Yes, sir.
familiar with that?
Yes, sir.
Get Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. He gave them options. He said, look, you either do what I tell you to do or you don't, and there's going to be consequences. Right? I want you to hear what the consequences are. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15.
Uh-huh.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy
What's your
God.
name, big bro?
Fred.
Fred. I'm
Yes, sir.
Ithiel, right? So he's saying, Fred, if you do not hearken, meaning to listen, unto all the laws, statutes, and commandments that I've been giving you all this time, right? Read on.
To observe, to do all his commandments
Yep.
and his statutes,
Mhm.
which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
All these curses are going to come upon us and overtake us. Curses being a bad thing. Curses being punishments, judgments, injustices. All these things is going to come upon us and overtake us. Give me verse 68. Right? You said you was here your whole life. So chances are that you haven't been given a very integral, detailed look at Black history out here. Right? The culture and things like, unless you go to the mainland and visit, you be like, oh snap, I didn't notice that. But here you're going to learn how to deal with Hawaiian culture, Japanese culture, Chinese culture even. We're in Chinatown. You know what I mean? So these are the things that we're going to learn being here and living here. But our history, we don't know much about that. But the Bible has our history in it. Read that real quick. Remember, these are curses and judgments for not doing what?
Oh, he asked you to do.
His commandments, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's find out what one of these punishments is.
Deuteronomy 28 and 68.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Remember, Egypt had to go, Moses had to go into Egypt to free his people from slavery,
Yep.
right? So to them, they're like, oh, snap, now we're not going back into Egypt. Egypt itself means bondage. It means slavery. That's what the word means, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
he said, I'm going to send you back into bondage, to slavery. Go ahead.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again
Uh-huh.
with ships.
How's he going to bring you into bondage?
With
into slavery?
ships.
How did we go into bondage and slavery?
Chips.
Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto
He
thee.
said, Fred, just the way I'm saying it, that's how it's going to happen. So don't be fooled when them ships come and it becomes your history. That's how I said it would happen. Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
In your homeland, you're not going to see it no more again. That's why I said you Black. You was like, yeah. We don't know who we are because we never been to our homeland. We're not familiar with our homeland. Therefore, we're not familiar with our identity. Hawaiians and Chinese, they can tell you exactly who they are by family name. We go by the names of the people that owned our families.
Yes, sir.
Read on.
And
Almost
there,
done.
and there
In that place,
ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
once you get off them ships, you're going to be sold unto your enemies. Right? This is history. Read on.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen
Slave men,
and bondwomen.
slave women.
And no man shall buy you.
That means nobody's gonna free you, Fred. That means you're gonna be here forever. That means that your great grandparents that was on the plantation that got sold, you still here today, and you still going by the names that they called you, and you still going by the culture that they gave you, and you still abide by the laws that they gave you, the religions that they gave you. We have no idea who we are. We're completely destroyed. We're the only people on earth that is totally and completely destroyed. Everybody else has remnants of names and histories and sites that they can go by to relive their culture, to revive their culture. We don't have it, right? This identifies us as the Israelites. So it's time for us to restore our heritage and restore our culture because Moses said this would happen to us because
Is it because of the commandments?
we're not keeping the
Listening,
commandments. Right. Fred, you keep any commandments?
Yeah. Truthfully, I try, but just harder. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, I stray away a little bit here and there. You know. So.
You stray away from what commandments?
Do I really got to answer?
Get the bit. I'm gonna get the fringes. Get the fringes real quick. I'm gonna show you something real quick. All right. I'm gonna show you one commandment that because a lot of people say it's very difficult for us to keep the commandments. Right. Read that for me real quick.
Numbers chapter 15 and verse 38.
Uh-huh.
Speak unto the children of Israel.
Remember, the Bible is once again talking to the children of Israel, right? Everybody on earth has their own dress code. You see a lot of Kanaka Maoli, they wear like the skirts and they got the tattoos and all that type. Everybody has their own dress code and culture. We do too. Read on.
And bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
Just like every brother here has fringes at the borders of their garments.
Yes, sir.
Right? Read on.
Throughout their generations.
Forever. Go ahead.
That they may put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
Just like this. All of us. Go ahead.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it. And remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them.
So you need help keeping the commandments? He said, apply my dress code. You're going to be different. You're going to understand that you're different. You're going to be distinct. That's not hard to keep.
Yes, sir.
My wife put this on all my clothes. Get Leviticus 11. And this will be the last one, I promise. Right? Because this is important. God wants us to be holy. He wants we keep his law so that way we can be holy to him. We can be clean to him. We won't be abominable to him, right? One of the things that we do is we eat unclean foods, especially in places like here. We're going to eat all the pork, the shrimp, the crab, all that stuff. God says that's unclean. Get that for me real quick.
Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And the swine.
You know what a swan is?
Pig, right?
Yeah. There's lots of pig going around. You see them on the back of trucks getting ready to get grilled up out here.
Yes, sir.
Right? Read on.
And the swine, though he divideth the hoof,
Mhm.
and be cloven footed,
Mhm.
yet he cheweth not the cud.
Right.
He is unclean.
He's what?
He is unclean to you.
He's unclean to the Israelites. We should not be eating those things. These are laws about what we are to eat and what we're not to eat. Right? Now, remember, those are commandments. What happens if we don't keep all the commandments?
Get on that ship, and we about to.
We right here. We still here.
Exactly.
And it said nobody's going to save you. Right? So that means that we should be keeping this if we want to be saved.
Yes, sir.
You understand? But nobody's teaching us this, the laws, the statutes, the commandments to save ourselves. So therefore, for our whole life, we stay on the bottom and we learn to be comfortable at the bottom.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family.